You can't see it on the outside. But inside, millions of adults are fighting a war every single day. No explosions, no headlines, just memories that won't fade, and wounds that never bleed. This isn't just about veterans. This is about survivors of abuse, accidents, loss. People like you, me, us. But here's the truth no one tells you. Post-traumatic stress disorder is treatable. Healing is possible, and you are not alone. Let's talk about how to recognize post-traumatic stress disorder, how to manage it, and how to take back your life, starting now. Not all wounds are visible. Some live deep in the mind. And while the world may see a calm face, behind it, a silent storm rages. Every single day, millions of adults are silently battling something they can't always explain. Flashbacks that strike out of nowhere, panic that wakes them from their sleep, or a constant feeling of being unsafe, even when they know they're not in danger. When we hear post-traumatic stress disorder, many of us think of soldiers, war zones, or combat scars. But trauma doesn't discriminate. You don't need to be a veteran to suffer from it. Trauma hides in the wreckage of car crashes, in the pain of abuse, in the grief of sudden loss, the chaos of natural disasters, and in the silence after emotional betrayal. The truth is, post-traumatic stress disorder is more common, and more silent, than we think. And too often, it goes unrecognized, untreated, and misjudged. But not here, not in this video. We see it, we name it, and together, we're going to talk about how to face it, heal it, and take back your life, step by step. So, what exactly is PTSD? It's not just about nightmares or panic attacks. It's a deeply rooted condition that changes how the brain responds to the world, long after the danger has passed. PTSD stands for post-traumatic stress disorder. It's a mental health condition that's triggered by experiencing or witnessing something deeply traumatic. That trauma could be a single event, like a car crash, a sudden loss, or an assault. Or it could come from long-term exposure to stress or abuse, especially the kind that leaves emotional scars. And here's the key. Post-traumatic stress disorder isn't a weakness. It's the brain's natural response to threat, gone into overdrive. When something traumatic happens, the brain flips into survival mode. Your heart races, your body tenses, your senses sharpen. That's the fight or flight system kicking in. And in the moment, it's what keeps you alive. But with post-traumatic stress disorder, that system gets stuck. The brain keeps acting like the trauma is still happening, even when you're perfectly safe. Let's briefly talk about what happens to the brain regions in post-traumatic stress disorder. The amygdala, your brain's fear center, becomes hyperactive. That's why even minor triggers, a sound, a smell, a phrase, can feel like danger all over again. The hippocampus, which helps you organize memory and time, may shrink. That's why memories of trauma can feel like they're happening in the present, not the past. And the prefrontal cortex, the logical part of your brain, it may get overpowered by emotion. That's why decision-making, focus, and emotional control become harder. This isn't just in your head, it's in your neurology. And that means it's real, it's valid, and it's treatable. The good news, with the right support, the brain can rewire. You can reclaim your calm. You can take your life back. Post-traumatic stress disorder doesn't always look like what you see in movies. It doesn't always scream. Sometimes, it whispers. It hides behind a smile. It lingers in the silence. And it shows up in ways that catch even the strongest people off guard. Post-traumatic stress disorder shows up in unexpected ways, like flashbacks, vivid, intense memories that feel like they're happening right now, or nightmares that jolt you awake, soaked in sweat, heart pounding. Panic attacks, sometimes triggered by a sound, a smell, or nothing at all. That overwhelming sense of dread, that tightness in the chest, that racing mind that won't stop. It also shows up in the opposite, numbness, emotional numbness, feeling disconnected, not just from other people, but even from yourself. You stop laughing like you used to. You stop feeling anything at all. Sometimes, the worst part isn't the fear, it's the emptiness. Avoidance is another red flag. Avoiding reminders of the trauma, places, people, even conversations. Avoiding memories, because thinking about them feels like reliving them. But the more you avoid, the tighter the trauma wraps around your life. For many adults, post-traumatic stress disorder means constantly being on edge. Hypervigilance, always scanning for danger, feeling jumpy, startled, or irritable over little things. Even loud laughter in a room can sound like a threat. Your nervous system never gets to relax. Like living with your foot pressed down on the gas, 24/7. And then there's the cognitive side. Trouble concentrating, forgetting things you used to remember easily, losing track of time, losing your train of thought mid-sentence. It's not laziness. It's not weakness. It's your brain working overtime just to keep you emotionally afloat. And finally, the heaviness of guilt, shame, and fear. You might ask yourself, why did this happen to me? Or worse, was it my fault? But trauma lies. It tricks your mind into blaming yourself for what someone else did. That shame doesn't belong to you. These symptoms may feel isolating, but they are not uncommon. And most importantly, they are not permanent. Understanding how post-traumatic stress disorder shows up is the first step toward healing it. You're not broken. You're surviving, and you don't have to do on your own without help. I survived the trauma, but I couldn't survive the memories. For many adults living with post-traumatic stress disorder, the real pain begins after the event ends. I thought I was fine, until I couldn't sleep for months. That's what one survivor told us. Lying in bed, night after night, heart pounding, afraid to close your eyes because sleep means reliving it, again and again. Loud noises gave me panic attacks. Another one shared that with tears in her eyes. A car backfiring, a door slamming, sounds that others brush off. For her, they were like time machines. Flashbacks dragging her right back to the worst day of her life. I kept smiling, but inside, I was drowning. One of the most common truths we hear. They go to work. They show up for their kids. They laugh at parties. But behind the smile is exhaustion. The weight of hiding pain that no one else can see. These are not rare cases. These are not outliers. These are your neighbors, your coworkers, your friends, maybe even you. 1 in 11 people will be diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder in their lifetime. And the real number, probably higher, because so many never speak up, never get diagnosed, never get help. Post-traumatic stress disorder doesn't wear a label. It doesn't announce itself. It lives in silence, behind eyes that seem okay, in the person who always says, "I'm fine." But here's what matters most. These survivors aren't weak. They're warriors. They're not broken. They're carrying pain that was never meant to be carried alone. If you're one of them, if this feels familiar, know this: you're not crazy. You're not overreacting. And you're definitely not alone. The stories are real. The struggles are real. And so is the hope that comes next. After everything we've just explored, the pain, the symptoms, the silence, there's something you absolutely must know. 1. You are not broken. You're a human being with a nervous system that's been overwhelmed, not a machine that's malfunctioning. 2. You are not alone. There are millions walking this same path. Quietly, bravely, and more are healing every day. 3. Post-traumatic stress disorder is treatable. Not just manageable. Treatable. Which means you can get better. You can feel joy again. You can feel safe again. You can get your life back. The brain can rewire. The body can calm. The mind can be retrained. And no matter how long it's been, no matter how deep the pain goes, healing is still possible. You don't have to carry it forever. There are therapies, tools, and communities built to help you heal. And you don't need to have it all figured out to start. You just need to take one brave step forward. Because recovery isn't a myth. It's a journey, and you're already on it, just by being here. Post-traumatic stress disorder can feel overwhelming, like the pain has taken over everything. But here's the hope we all need to hold onto. There are proven therapies that work. And not just feel-good ideas, but scientifically backed, life-changing treatments. Talk therapy works, and research shows it actually helps rewire the brain. 1. Let's begin with cognitive behavioral therapy, abbreviated as CBT. Cognitive behavioral therapy is one of the most common and most effective treatments for post-traumatic stress disorder. It helps you identify the negative thought patterns linked to your trauma and teaches you how to challenge them. Bit by bit, you learn to think in ways that are safer, healthier, and more empowering. You stop living by the fear and start living by the facts. 2. Next we will discuss eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, abbreviated as EMDR. Eye movement desensitization and reprocessing might sound strange at first, but it's powerful. While you recall traumatic memories, your therapist guides your eyes through specific movements. This mimics how your brain processes memories during rapid eye movement sleep. The result: the emotional charge behind the memory begins to lessen. You stop reliving it and start reclaiming it as just a memory, not a threat. 3. And now we will look at exposure therapy. For some, certain places, sounds, or situations become unbearable, even if they're harmless. Exposure therapy helps you gradually face those triggers in safe, controlled ways. Step by step, your brain learns, this isn't dangerous anymore. I'm okay. You build resilience. You take back control. 4. Next we will focus on group therapy. And don't underestimate the power of community. Group therapy connects you with others who get it, who've been through the darkness, and are also walking toward the light. You realize, you're not weird. You're not alone. You're one of many strong people healing together. Therapy gave me back control of my life. That's not just a slogan. That's a lived experience for thousands of people. And it can be your story too. Healing doesn't mean forgetting the past. It means learning how to carry it without letting it define you. These therapies can help you do that. With guidance, with courage, and with time. Let's be clear about something up front. Medication won't erase trauma. It won't delete the past, or magically heal the hurt. But for many people living with post-traumatic stress disorder, it can help stabilize the present. It can take the edge off the anxiety, quiet the panic, soften the flashbacks, and help you find the mental space you need to begin real healing. Medications for post-traumatic stress disorder are not a one-size-fits-all solution. But there are options that are approved, tested, and widely used. Let's look at a few FDA-approved options. Number 1. Sertraline, commonly known as Zoloft. It's a type of antidepressant, an SSRI, that helps regulate serotonin in the brain. For many, it reduces anxiety, stabilizes mood, and makes the emotional triggers feel less intense. Number 2. Paroxetine, also known as Paxil. Another SSRI that's proven helpful for people with both post-traumatic stress disorder and depression. It can improve sleep, reduce hypervigilance, and help control intrusive thoughts. Number 3. Prazosin, especially powerful when it comes to nightmares. Originally a blood pressure medication, it's now widely used to reduce trauma-related night terrors. Many patients report finally being able to sleep through the night without reliving the past. We will now address how these medications work. These medications help by regulating brain chemistry, especially in areas affected by post-traumatic stress disorder. The amygdala, which controls fear. The prefrontal cortex, which governs logic and emotional regulation. And neurotransmitters like serotonin and norepinephrine, which impact mood and alertness. Think of them as a tool, not a cure, but a tool that can support therapy, mindfulness, and other healing work. Here is an important reminder. Not everyone with post-traumatic stress disorder needs medication, and not every medication works the same for every person. Always work with a qualified mental health professional or psychiatrist to find what's right for you. Whether you choose therapy, medication, or a combination of both. You are not weak for seeking help. You are wise. You are taking your power back. And healing doesn't just happen with willpower. Sometimes, it starts with the right support. When we think of healing post-traumatic stress disorder, we often focus on therapy and medication. And yes, those are powerful tools. But real, sustainable healing also comes from the small things we do. Every single day, what you do daily can help you heal profoundly. Healing isn't just something that happens in a therapist's office. It happens in your body, in your habits, in your breath. That's where holistic healing comes in. The everyday tools that support your nervous system, restore calm, and rebuild safety from the inside out. We will now look at mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness teaches your mind to come back to the present, to stop time traveling to the past, or fearing the future. Even just 10 minutes a day, eyes closed, deep breaths, can start to rewire how your brain reacts to stress. Guided meditations, breathing apps, or simply listening to your breath. All of it helps anchor you back into now. Next we will focus on journaling your emotions. Putting pen to paper turns chaos into clarity. Journaling gives your trauma a safe space to speak, without judgment. Write freely. Cry if you need to. Let the page hold what you're tired of carrying. And now we will consider creative outlets. Music, art, poetry. Art bypasses logic and speaks directly to the soul. Whether you're painting, singing, writing poetry, or dancing alone in your kitchen. Expression helps release what words can't always explain. Sometimes, creativity is the therapy. We will now progress to exercise. Even just 20 minutes of walking. You don't need to hit the gym for an hour. A 20-minute walk can boost endorphins, reduce anxiety, and help your body metabolize stress hormones like cortisol. Movement tells your brain, we're not frozen anymore. We're safe now. We will also look at better sleep habits. Post-traumatic stress disorder can wreak havoc on sleep, but better rest is possible. Create a calming nighttime ritual. Dim lights. No screens. Herbal tea. Soothing sounds. Prioritize rest like your healing depends on it. Because it does. Remember to limit alcohol, caffeine and doom scrolling. These might feel like escapes, but they often make the anxiety worse. Too much caffeine overstimulates. Alcohol numbs, but never heals. And scrolling through negativity overloads your already exhausted nervous system. Choose boundaries. Choose peace. Choose presence. It's not just about treatment. It's about transformation. These holistic tools won't erase your trauma, but they can transform your response to it. They help turn survival into self-empowerment, pain into purpose, reaction into resilience. When you heal holistically, you're not just managing post-traumatic stress disorder. You're rewriting your story, one breath, one habit, one gentle, loving step at a time. When someone we love is in pain, our instinct is to fix it, to take the hurt away, to offer advice. But with post-traumatic stress disorder, healing isn't about quick fixes. It's about safety, and sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is simply be there. Be the calm in their storm. Your presence, steady, non-judgmental, patient, can be the anchor they cling to when their world feels chaotic. Here is how to truly help. Number 1. Listen without judgment. Let them talk, or not talk, on their own terms. Don't try to solve their feelings. Just be the safe space where they're finally allowed to feel them. Remember, silence is okay. Just your willingness to listen speaks volumes. Number 2. Avoid saying, just move on, or, it's in the past. These phrases, even when well-intended, can feel invalidating. Post-traumatic stress disorder doesn't live in the past. It lives in the body and brain, often resurfacing unexpectedly. Instead, say, I believe you. Or, you don't have to go through this alone. Number 3. Respect their triggers and pace. Don't pressure them to face situations they're not ready for. Don't force confrontation, crowds, or tough conversations. Healing takes time, and their pace might be slower than yours. And that's okay. Ask them gently, is there anything that feels unsafe for you right now? Number 4. Encourage treatment, but don't push. Suggesting therapy, medication, or support groups is loving. But pushing too hard can backfire and make them shut down. Say, have you thought about talking to someone? I can help you find someone when you're ready. Give them choices, not pressure. Number 5. Let them feel safe, not scrutinized. Post-traumatic stress disorder often makes people feel exposed, defensive, or ashamed. Your goal isn't to analyze or assess. It's to create an environment where they can finally breathe. Let them cry without being told to stop. Let them sit in silence without needing to cheer up. Let them be. And remind them they're still lovable, even in their hardest moments. You don't need to be their therapist. You just need to be their anchor. Their quiet, their safety, their proof that healing doesn't have to happen alone. Healing from post-traumatic stress disorder doesn't happen in a straight line. It's not quick. It's not clean. There will be setbacks, triggers, days when it feels like you're back at square one. But listen closely. Healing isn't a straight line. But it's a journey worth taking. The fact that you're watching this right now, that you're curious about healing, that means you've already taken the first step. You're showing up, and that matters more than you know. Today, I still have bad days. But now, I know how to survive them. That quote came from a survivor just like one you may know. Someone who still faces hard moments. But now, they have tools. They have support. They have hope. You are not your trauma. You are not the worst thing that ever happened to you. You are not defined by your symptoms. You are not broken. You are human, and like every human, you deserve the chance to feel peace again. You are not weak. Post-traumatic stress disorder is not weakness. It's your brain's way of trying to protect you. Surviving trauma takes incredible strength. So if you're still here, still fighting, still hoping, that makes you brave. You are worthy of peace. No matter how long you've carried this pain, no matter who hurt you or who didn't believe you, you are still worthy of rest, of joy, of waking up one day and feeling free. The road ahead may be long, but every step forward counts. And you don't have to take it alone. Reach out, speak up, get help. Your healing doesn't have to look perfect. It just has to be yours. You are not your trauma. You are not weak. You are worthy of peace. And this right now, could be your turning point. Your journey back to yourself starts today. If you're watching this and thinking, I need help, but I don't know where to start. You're not alone, and you don't have to figure it all out by yourself. We've gathered some of the most trusted, evidence-based resources to help you begin your healing journey, or to support someone you love. Here's where to start. Let's begin with SAMHSA National Helpline 1-800-662-HELP, 4357. This is a free, confidential, 24/7 support line in the US. Whether you're in crisis, need referrals, or just someone to talk to, SAMHSA is there. No insurance, no judgment, just help. Next up, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, abbreviated as NAMI. Visit NAMI.org to access free support groups, education programs, and mental health advocates near you. The National Alliance on Mental Illness is especially helpful for friends and family members who want to learn how to support a loved one with post-traumatic stress disorder. You don't have to navigate this in the dark. The National Alliance on Mental Illness is a light in the fog. And now we will look at BetterHelp, online therapy that fits your schedule. If in-person therapy feels overwhelming or out of reach, BetterHelp connects you with licensed therapists online. Sessions by chat, video, or phone. On your terms, in your time. It's discreet, flexible, and tailored to your needs. Healing doesn't have to wait. There is also the Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder Coach app, created by the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. This free app offers tools for managing anxiety, tracking symptoms, practicing grounding techniques, and learning about post-traumatic stress disorder, right from your phone. Designed for veterans but used by thousands of civilians, too. Sometimes the help we need fits right in our pocket. Post-traumatic stress disorder doesn't make you broken. It makes you human. And help is available. You are allowed to reach for it. You deserve to. If this video touched you, if even one part of it felt like your story, then you already know, this isn't just content. This is a call to action, a mission, a movement. Join the conversation, break the stigma, share this video. Right now, someone else is scrolling, silently suffering. They may not even realize they have post-traumatic stress disorder. But your like, your comment, your share, could be the nudge that leads them toward hope, healing, and life-saving support. Here's how you can be part of this movement. Like this video, so the algorithm brings it to more eyes. Comment. Your words might be the exact ones someone needs to hear. Share, with a friend, a group, your story feed. Subscribe, for more videos that educate, empower, and uplift. Drop your story in the comments. You don't have to be a therapist or expert to make an impact. Just say, "I've been there too," or "This helped me." Your courage might give someone else the strength to keep going. Together, we can stop treating mental health like a secret. Together, we can say, "You're not crazy. You're not weak. You are not alone." Together, we can heal out loud. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.